Innovations in government. Can storytelling make the difference? Stay with us and find out. Hello, I'm John O'Leary, Executive Editor of Better, Faster, Cheaper, and I'm talking today with Sandford Borins, Professor of Management at the University of Toronto. He's an expert in innovation and the author of the 2008 book, Innovations in Government. Professor Borins, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
One of the things about your work is that you've looked at the importance of story in spreading innovation. So if there are two ideas or two innovations out there, and one of them has a good story to go with it, is that one more likely to spread?
I think so, and I think the reason is that story touches something deep in all of us. That's how we began to learn. And a good story is something that people get into, they imagine themselves as being part of. And so an innovation that tells a story that people can play with, can imagine themselves as part of, is more likely to spread than one that doesn't have a story.
You've looked at the Innovations in American Government competition here at the Ash Institute, and one of the things you've noted is that the story of a visionary leader coming in and turning around an organization doesn't happen that often.
I mean, it's a great story, but it just doesn't happen that often. And I sort of think about it in the following way. So think of a government that may have 20 or 30 agencies. Well, there may be one or two that really aren't performing very well at all, and that have to be turned around. But that's, say, 5–10% of the population. Most agencies are doing okay, or at least below the media's radar as something needing a major fix.
So the much more common narrative that you found in your analysis of the award winners was sort of innovation sponsored by crisis. It's when something comes up that's really not working. Is that?
Or I'd call it innovation as problem solving.
Okay.
Okay, and I sort of say the difference is that good public servants are proactive. They start to work on the problem before it becomes a crisis. They can see that it will become a crisis if they don't act, and so they start to respond.
Can you tell us a story from your book that shows an example where story made a difference in spreading an innovation?
Okay. I mean, I think that one that we looked at, we had a chapter about Bob Reich as Secretary of Labor.
Yeah.
And he was very good at sort of telling the shame of it stories. And one where that worked very well was in terms of the initiative to eradicate sweatshops. Okay? And he got that message out that isn't it shameful that there are these sweatshops where people are being paid abysmal wages to make designer jeans that have the names of prominent entertainers on.
Okay. Are there any other good resources out there? Do you have any resources for folks who want to get better at telling story, as it were?
Okay, one person I think who's very good is Stephen Denning, who used to be with the World Bank and has written a number of books about storytelling for management. So, I would put my money on him.
For Stephen Denning, outstanding. Yeah. Professor Borins, thanks so much for being with us today. Again, Professor Borins, the author of Innovations in Government, Research, Recognition, and Replication by the Brookings Institution. Pick it up. I'm John O'Leary for Better, Faster, Cheaper. Thanks for being with us.